Happy Friday.
Hi.
Welcome to a Trinity Family 5-Minute Friday. I'm Andrew. This is Bree Weens, and we are a Trinity family.
We're in our Building Foundation series where we're looking at men and women in 21st centuries and the privileges and the challenges that come with that. Last week we looked at increased value for childhood, which sets us up for this week, discipline of children, and how sometimes that increased value for childhood can make us fuzzy in our discipline. We can either be passive or we can be aggressive, let too many things go, or shout and yell when things don't go exactly right. And I think what would help us is, what is the goal in discipline? Andrew, do you have vision for giving this?
Yeah.
Why do you discipline?
We're disciplining kids because we want to make them good choice makers. And we're going to give them two things in order to do that. The first is a strong internal compass. So they need the skills and the practice making choices so that they know they can trust themselves. And
Especially in a world of so many choices.
So many choices. And the knowledge that I am a good choice maker and that I am the only one who can control myself. So that's the first thing we want to give them. The second thing is we want to protect and steward the connection they have with us.
As the guide, as a good guide.
Mm-hmm. So that when that compass, they're not sure how to read it. I don't know what to do in this situation quite. They have somebody that they trust and can come to who they know is good at controlling themselves and isn't trying to control and manipulate them, but it really is that genuine, helpful guide. And we've gotten a lot of practice with this. We've been teaching Love and Logic, which is a great resource for you, for a number of years. I worked in the schools and ran a large 150 kid out of school time program. So we got to practice all kinds of different kids. One population in particular, probably my favorite, they were called EBD level 3 kids, and so they're emotional behavior disorder students. They've been told, you have problem controlling yourself, and they do. You know, they're angry, they lash out, they just are used to getting adults super aggressive or super passive, getting them to back down by acting out.
Which doesn't help anybody in the end.
And so they're coming to my program, and we have a 1 to 15 staff and student ratio. They're used during the school day to a 1-on-1, 1 to 2 kind of a ratio. Much different scenario. And they need to be successful. I need them to be, and they need to be. And so I need to give them, first of all, a strong sense. You can control yourself. I don't care what anybody else tells you. You can. And number 2, I'm here, and I'm going to control myself. I'm here to be a connection for you, but I'm not going to make your choices for you. You've got to do that, and you've got to suffer the consequences. And so what we would do in welcoming these kids into our program, one, we'd have a blast. They'd usually have a week or two where they have no problems because they're still trying to figure it out. We're just loving on them. They're having a good time. But then it comes a point of crisis, where they're acting out. And what we would do in that place is the first time they have behaviors, we're going to push them over the edge. And what that meant is we're not going to back down with our expectations. So you're in the gym, you need to leave. You're not leaving. You're starting to escalate. You're used to getting people to be like, oh, it's okay, fine. As long as you don't do it this time, I'll give you one more chance. Those kinds of things. We're not going to give any more chances. You've been asked to leave, you need to leave. That's what we do in this place. And so I come in, and I'm standing on, it's time to leave the gym. Ripping posters off the wall, right? They're going up a notch. Oh, nice try. What did I say? They're going to go up a notch. They're throwing things at me. I got hit by golf clubs. I got all kinds of stuff during my time there. And the whole time, I'm calm, and I'm loving towards them. They have my connection, but I haven't flinched an inch about what they need to do, because they can control themselves. And then, once I get them to a place, sometimes after hours of fits and violence and destruction of things, we get to a place where they're calm, and then they have consequences administered. And so by doing that, I'm teaching them, I have an expectation. You can control yourself. And many of those kids, after that one incident, they had very few incidents with us. They would be just with everybody else in this place where in every other area of their life, they're having constant issues at home, in the classroom. But with us, they had these boundaries set, and they had somebody and some people that were going to hold them accountable, but also fight for that connection. So Bree, how can we do this in our homes? Give us a tool to diagnose ourselves, really.
Yeah, and I would just say, make a list. Take those behaviors where you're passive. Take those behaviors where you're aggressive and angry and out of control, and pick one area that you would like to work on to start with. Come to the family, come to the kids, come to whoever, set the clear or first apologize. Say, I'm sorry, I haven't set a clear boundary. Here's my boundary. I expect this house to be clean. So I've noticed that people have been coming in with muddy shoes. I expect that when you make a mess, you will clean up your mess. Set the boundary, and then be in control of yourself when things happen, when people forget, but hold it to them. Don't be passive and just clean it up after them. Don't be aggressive and say, what did I tell you? It's going to be clean in here. Control yourself. And then say, oh, well, it looks like you've made a mess. You can eat after this mess is taken care of. Or if it needs to be sooner, make it done sooner. But hold everyone accountable, set those boundaries, and invite help. Say, if I have a control problem, if I have a self-control problem, I'm going to say, hey, when I start yelling, just ask me a simple question, where is your peace? And then I can go and reclaim it, come back, and help with the situation. So,
enjoy disciplining your kids. It should be a fun thing.
Fight for that connection.
And give them that sense of self-control. Happy Friday. Bye.
Bye.